أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي ليس لأوليته ابتداء ولا لأزليته انقضاء، وانحصرت الأوصاف عن كنه معرفته، ورضعت عظمته العقول، والذي لا تواري عنه سماء سماء ولا أرض أرضا. ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على سيد البطحاء سيد المرسلين والأنبياء أبي القاسم محمد المصطفى.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى الجوهرة القدسية البتول العذراء سيدة النساء فاطمة الزهراء، وعلى بعلها أمير المؤمنين وبنيها الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
لا سيما على بقية الله وحجته الكبرى الذي بيمنه رزق الورى، وبوجوده ثبتت الأرض والسماء، ولولاه لساخت الأرض بأهلها. واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من حين عداوتهم إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: بقية الله خير لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
We are in the holy month of Sha'ban that belongs to our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also we are very close to the birthday of our Imam of the time, which inshallah we're going to have the celebration for that, the celebration of the Mawlid of Imam Wali al-Asr alayhi salam, this upcoming Saturday, inshallah. But it's not bad to talk about Imam Mahdi alayhi salam anytime, especially in the month of Sha'ban. So tonight I would like to mention at least 15, if time permits, 15 of those mukhtasat or khasa'is, specific attributes of the Imam of our time. So the first is that the nur of the Imam alayhi salam was like al-kawkabud durri, between the anwar of the Ma'sumin alayhi salam. That means this nur was shining like a bright star among the rest of the lights of the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Some of the narrations say that the nur of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman was in the state of qiyam and standing among the rest of the anwar of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So this is one of the specific attributes. The second of the specific attributes of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam is sharafatun nasab. His nasab and lineage is one of the most noble among in the entire history of humanity, because from his father's side his nasab and lineage reaches to Amir al-Mu'mineen and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and from his mother's side his nasab reaches to Sham'un bin as-Safa, who was the from so that's where his lineage comes through. Hadrat Narjis Khatun salamullahi alayha, who was from the lineage of Sham'un bin as-Safa, who was the wasi and deputy of Prophet Isa alayhi salam. So his lineage from two sides reaches this great and noble lineage and noble tree, Shajaratun Tayyiba. And the third specific attributes is that he's the only Ma'soom who was taken by two angels to Allah after his birth. You don't find any narration for other Ma'soomin alayhi salam like this. So when Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman was born, two angels of Allah took the Imam from the house of Imam al-Askari alayhi salam to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah directly talks with Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam soon after his birth. Allah talks with him and Allah welcomes him, marhaba. Allah says welcome to his slave, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to him that welcome to you my servant, and for the help of my religion, nusrat of my religion, and the izhar and expressing the amr. Ihtimal and the amr stand for the walayat of Allah, expressing the supremacy and the governance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman, we all know, is going to establish the government of justice in the whole world. So this is the supremacy of the great divine values and the justice of God and the whole world, and justice of Allah through Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam is going to be served to the whole universe, to everyone, to all, to the entire humans and jinns. For the rest of the existences in the universe, justice is already being served by Allah, already there. So just the humans and jinns, some of those humans and jinns who are showing rebellion. And Allah said, Mahdi of my slaves. Allah addresses him as Mahdi among my slaves. Mahdi of my slaves. So he's the one who is Mahdi, means the guided one. So Hadi means the guide, and Al-Mahdi means the guided one. So, and Allah swears in front of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, Allah swore that I swear to myself that I will grab because of you. That means whomsoever Allah is going to punish, whomsoever Allah is going to grab, it's because of their behavior towards Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. So I'm going to grab because of you, due to you, because of you, and I'm going to give because of you, and I'm going to forgive because of you. So whomsoever is going to be forgiven is because of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Whomsoever is going to be given, whatever is going to be given because of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, and whomsoever is going to be grabbed by Allah is going to be grabbed because of what we did towards Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam. This is the only one of a kind incident happening in the entire history, this kind of conversation. The fourth specific attribute of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam is he has a palace in paradise which is called Baytul Hamd. So Baytul Hamd means the house of the praise, obviously house of the praise, so he is the best one among the best who praised Allah. And house of praise, Imam alayhi salam himself deserves the praise as well. So his house is called, his palace is called Baytul Hamd, house of the praise, and inside the house of the praise is a lamp. The hadith teaches us there's a lamp which is lit from the time he was born and is going to be lit up till the time he's going to do the khuruj and uprising and qiyam, and is going to be is not going to be extinguished up till the time he's going to do the khuruj and qiyam through the sword, and it will not be extinguished. The fifth specific attribute of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman is that he is the only one ever who combines the kunyat and the name of the Prophet. So Prophet's name is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam's name is the same, and it's haram to say his name It's not permissible to mention the name with the niyat of saying the name of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. The same word, if you say with the niyat of saying the name of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, is not allowed. So that's why you see in the scholars usually in their books, when they write the name of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman, they usually write the broken letters like Mim, a broken letter, and Ha, a broken letter, and then Mim, another broken letter, and then Dal. That's how they write the name. So if you connect it, the reader will obviously end up reading it, right? So don't be part of the haram of the people. Don't facilitate harams. We never facilitate the harams for anybody. So it's not allowed, to mention the name of the Imam. Man sammani, Tawqil Mubarak. Imam's hadith himself says, Man sammani fi majma'in min al-nas fa alayhi la'natullah. Whoever named me in a gathering of the people, upon him be the la'nat of Allah. That's the Tawqil Mubarak. So we can never name the Imam. We are not allowed to mention his name. We mention his alqab, always. So he's the only person who combines the name of the Prophet and the kunyat of the Prophet, which was Abul Qasim. And Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman's kunyat is also Abul Qasim. So, Prophet has said in his hadith that put my name and leave my kunyat. In the hadith of the Prophet, he says, put my name, that means you can put the name of your children in the name of the Prophet. We always name our children Muhammad, right? So in the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, it says whenever a child is born in our house, we always name him Muhammad. Later on, if we want to change it to another name, we change it later on. But initially, we always name him Muhammad. So Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, you can later on you can change it to Ali or Ja'far or Al-Baqir or whatever you want to name, Initially you always name him Muhammad. That's the sunnah which is there in Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So Prophet has said, put my name but leave my kunyat aside. That means don't name with my kunyat. We don't combine the name of the Prophet and his kunyat. So the sixth attribute is hurmat, haram, mentioning his name being haram. There's the only Imam whose mentioning his name is considered as haram. Number seventh specific attribute of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman only is that he is the Khatamul Awsiya. He is the seal of all the deputies. There is no wasi and deputy arriving after him. So the eighth specific attribute of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam is that since his ghaibat he was submitted to Ruhul Qudus. So he was since he was born living in a different domain, in the Alamun Nur with Ruhul Qudus. He was submitted to Ruhul Qudus to serve. Ruhul Qudus was supposed to serve him, and Ruhul Qudus serves as a servant of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam. Ruhul Qudus is supposed to serve and take care of the Imam as a servant, living in a realm and domain of Nur. Ninth specific attribute of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam is Adamu musahabatil kuffar wal munafiqeen wal fasiqeen. Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman never happened that he lived even for one day, even for 1 hour. It never happened in his life that he ever lived with any kafir or any munafiq or any fasiq. Unlike the previous 11 ma'sumeen among the imams and the third holy prophet, who was living with so many mushrikeen and idol worshippers and kafirin and fasiqeen and mulhideen and zanadiqa, zindiq people who have nothing to do with Allah. Right? Every type of people were living in the time of the Prophet, right? And Imam Ali alayhi salam. And they end up doing their best to guide all of them, and they were in a situation where these people were around. But for Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam, not even for a day or not even for a minute. He never lived with any kafir or munafiq
or fasiq. Well, humans, from the Islamic perspective, are either mu'mins or kafir. Period. So you don't have any third category of human beings. Humans, I repeat, according to the Islamic perspective, are either mu'mins or kafirs. So, غير المؤمن, if a person is a munafiq, he's also a kafir from the inside. Munafiq is somebody who expresses Islam from the zahir, apparent, from the batin and inside he's a kafir. So the reality of munafiq is nothing but kufr, right? And munafiqeen will be resurrected along with the kafirin on the day of Jannah. Inna Allah jami'ul munafiqeen wal kafirina fi jahannama. Right? So Allah is going to combine the munafiqeen with the kafirin. So in the real sense, people are either mu'mins or kafirs. You don't have a third category. So Imam alayhi salam never lived even for a day with any kafir or munafiq or fasiq. Obviously, there's a room for, and we need to understand that Imam was going through the state of lack of support. When the Masoom is not having the adequate, proper amount of support of the people. Yes, he has the miracle, but the miracle is never given to any Masoom to use the miracle to establish the government. Miracle is never given by Allah to any prophet or any Imam to use to kill the enemies and establish the government. Otherwise, Imam Hussein would have used the miracle and killed Shimr and Yazid. Imam Ali can use the miracle and kill Muawiyah. Miracle was never given to any prophet or Imam to kill their enemies and establish the government of justice. No. Miracle is given for ihqaqul haqq and ibtalul batil, proving the tawheed of Allah in front of anybody who opposes the tawheed, and proving the haqqaniyat and truthfulness of the haqq. That's why the miracle is given to the prophets and imams. So Imam Mahdi alayhi salam has all the miracles, but he is not supposed to use those miracles, right? To kill his enemies and establish the government of justice. If that was the case, then why is he in the ghaibah? He can just kill the enemies and establish the government from day one. The miracle is not given. He is waiting for us to improve ourselves and become his supporters, because we have to do some service for the Imam to make the zuhur closer and to serve with sabab and musabbab, cause and effect, illat and ma'lul. With our efforts we need to pave the way for the Imam and his government. If we keep on separating religion from politics, no, Maulana, don't talk about siyasat from the mimbar. So what this sentence means, don't talk about the walayat of Ali from the mimbar. Because people of Saqifa did not take away the deen of Imam Ali. Can anybody take the deen of Imam Ali from him? People of Saqifa took the hukumat and kursi from Imam Ali. Siyasat from Imam Ali. So there are people in our community who up till today make Banu Umayyah successful with their jahl. Intentionally or unintentionally. So this is the reason why even so many of our religious people who are zahiran religious, but a lot of those people never did the political and social obligations properly. Which makes a difference in the life of the Islamic Ummah. Individual duties never make a difference in the life of the nation unless you perform collective obligations, which we call social and political obligations, which were missing because we kept separating from religion from politics, and that's the biggest reason that caused the giving of the hard time to the Imams. And for Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman, he's in the Ghaibat. This is where the taqiyya comes in. This is where the issue of khawf and discussion of khawf comes in, that when people are not there to support, Imam is not supposed to use the miracle to protect his life. Otherwise Imam Hussein would have used the miracle to protect his life. Let's have some basirat, insight into the religion. Let's not be ahmaq and silly about the Islamic concepts. When people are not ready to support, the Imam is going to go to Ghaibat. So we are the reason why Imam is in the Ghaibat. Because he is not going to defend and protect his life with the miracle. Did the Prophet protect with the miracle? Did Imam Ali protect with the miracle? Imam Mahdi alayhi salam follows the sunnah of Rasulullah. There is no new sunnah. So it's because of the lack of support the Imam end up in the taqiyya, in the fear situation, not because he's afraid of death. This family is not afraid of death.
والله لابن أبي طالب آنس بالموت من الطفل بثدي أمه. I swear to Allah, the son of Abu Talib is more ma'nus and more familiar to death than the baby towards the breast of the mother. They are not afraid of the death. Then what's about the issue of discussing khawf and fear? Fear is not about, he's not afraid of death. But the thing is that the point to note is that if he dies, fear means if he dies before the promise of Quran, promise of Allah is fulfilled and government of justice is installed on the whole world, who is going to install it if Imam dies before that time because people are not ready to defend? This is the meaning of the fear. We cannot tolerate the Quran to be turned into a liar, na'udhu billah min dhalik, because people are not ready to defend. And Imam is not supposed to use a miracle for his defense. That's the meaning of fear. Again, coming back to the point, people should realize their political responsibilities towards defending the Imam is a political obligation. It's not an infiradi obligation. It's not an individual obligation for either of Islam. It's a political obligation to defend the leader. So, now let's go to the 11th one. The 11th, so Imam Mahdi alayhi salam is the only ma'soom who never lived for one day with any kafir or munafiq or mulhid or zindiq or fasiq. Even the fasiqi. Fasiq means somebody who performs even one haram intentionally is called a fasiq. Or leaves one wajib intentionally, amidan, it will be called a fasiq if he doesn't do the tawbah. If he performs tawbah after that, tarji'ul adalatu bit tawbah, adalat returns back with the tawbah, he will be called adil if he does the tawbah. But if somebody doesn't do the tawbah after leaving a wajib intentionally or doing a haram intentionally, this person is called fasiq. Fasiq is the opposite of adil. Imam is not living, did not live, does not agree to live. Allah doesn't want the Imam to live with any fasiq. So he is only close to those people who are tayyib and tahir. So we need to develop taharat in the qalb to get close to the Imam. 11th specific attribute is alamat and sign on his back, which makes him again similar to the Holy Prophet, more and more similar to him. He is the most similar person and most mushabih person in the entire history of the universe to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam was also similar, right? Imam al-Hasan was mushabih and shabih of Rasulullah. In the hadith of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra sallallahu alayha, she said in the hadith to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Dasta shabihan bin Nabi, Anta shabihun bi Ali. You are not similar. That means Imam Hussein was similar to Imam Ali in his appearance. Imam al-Hasan was similar to Rasulullah in his appearance. So Sayyidah Fatima in her hadith is saying to her baby Imam Hussein that you are not similar to Rasulullah, you are similar to Ali. So Imam Hussein, in their ismat, taharat, their ilm, their character, they are similar to Rasulullah. All of them are similar. But we are talking about the zahiri appearance of the face. Similarity, just like you have babies, the parents say this baby is similar to the mother or the father, right? They talk about that. So the similarity in terms of the face, in terms of their ma'naviyat, their character, their ilm, they are all similar to Rasulullah. But we are talking about the zahiri face appearance and the face of Imam Hussein was similar to Imam Ali in his face. Imam Hassan was similar to Rasulullah in his face. So we have Imam Hassan similar to Rasulullah. We have Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam similar to Hazrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam. Hazrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam similar to Rasulullah. These two personalities were similar. But Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman is the most similar person more than anyone else to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad
he has an alamat, a sign of imamat on his back, which is similar to another mushabahat and similarity. Prophet had an alamat on his back, which is alamat of his risalat, and this is the Imam Mahdi alayhi salam's back. This is the alamat and sign of his imamat and walayat on his back. 12th specific attribute of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam is that he is mentioned in the previous books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also in the narrations related to the Mi'raj and ascension of the Prophet. He is mentioned with his alqab and titles in that. So Imam Mahdi is another known person to the previous madahib and religions, adyan. So just like they know Rasulullah, right? الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَعْرِفُونَهُ. Quran says those whom we have given the book is the Jews and Christians. الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَعْرِفُونَهُ. They recognize him. That means they recognize Rasulullah. كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاءَهُم. Just like they recognize their children. Can a father end up saying, "Oh, I don't know whether he is my son or not"? He's your son. You can never fail to recognize your own son. Or he's my daughter or not. He's your daughter. You always recognize. Look at the beautiful example Quran has given. Those whom we have given the book, that means Jews and Christians, recognize Rasulullah the way they recognize their children. So just like we have the mention and zikr of Rasulullah in the previous books, similarly we have the zikr of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman with his alqab. He's mentioned. 13th specific attributes is zuhur of al-ayatul ghariba, strange signs appearing before his appearance in the heavens, samawat, and the earth. So one of those, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Holy Quran, that's mentioned in Al-Kafi about this ayat of Quran, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُ الْحَقِّ. We are soon going to show him. We learn from this ayat, we are soon going to show them our signs in their own selves, in the horizons and in their own selves, so that it becomes clear for them that he is haqq. So this ayat of Holy Quran in the tafsir of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam is interpreted that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is interpreted with that when the khuruj of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman, when the uprising of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman happens, and the signs and alamat would appear, and and حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُ الْحَقِّ, until it becomes clear for them that he is haqq. This segment of ayat, the tafsir says that tabayyun al-haqq, clarification of haqq, means khurujul qa'im. That means the uprising of Imam al-Qaim alayhi salam is meant by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that the haqq becomes clear for them. That means the uprising of the Imam. So there are alamat. Some of the scholars have mentioned 400 signs in total. 400 signs in total for the zuhur of the Imam. So another specific attribute of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam is sayha, the cry, which is one of those authentic attributes, one of the 5 biggest signs, which we call them al-mahtumat, the confirmed signs before the appearance. Al-mahtumat. One of those mahtumat, means confirmed signs, is as-sayha, means the cry. It refers to the call of Jibreel. Jibreel alayhi salam is going to make a call, and the hadith of Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam says that whomsoever is in the east and whomsoever is in the west is going to hear that voice. So no one is exempt. Basically, people who will be sleeping will wake up and hear it. Allah's Khalifa arriving, Allah has special arrangement is the commander of the universe arriving on behalf of Allah. Every single human being, those people who are unconscious, Allah will make them conscious to hear. Those who are sleeping, Allah will wake them up to hear. Those who are standing up, they will sit down. Those who would be sitting up will stand up out of the fear of that hearing of that voice.
If an unknown announcer starts announcing something which is audible and anyone can hear, and you can't see the announcer, it becomes scary, right? You can hear the voice and the whole world is going to hear the voice, but you can't see anybody.
Obviously it becomes scary. So people who will be standing up will sit down, those who are sitting up will stand up, the hadith says. So that's going to be in the month of Ramadan when Jibreel will announce about the arrival of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman. This is the specific attribute of Imam Mahdi only, not for any other Masoom. The 15th is Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman is slow movement of the galaxies. Slow movement of these stars and galaxies around us. Slow movement, what do we mean? That means Allah is going to slow them down. So when Allah is going to slow them down, we learn from that there will be long days and long years happening at that time, because the galaxies and stars around us are slowed down by the command of Allah. When Imam was telling that, when Imam al-Baqir al-Islam was talking about that, one of the companions said to Imam al-Baqir al-Islam that people say if the galaxies start moving slowly, everything in the universe will become fasid and be destroyed. Imam al-Baqir said that's the call of Zindiq people, those who have nothing to do with Allah. So Imam debunked that statement straight away. So the 16th specific attribute of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman alayhi salam is Zuhur Mushaf Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. In his time, the Mushaf of Amir al-Mu'mineen would appear. If you remember, before those Zalimeen attacked the house of Imam Ali and put rope in his neck and dragged him in the street to the masjid, La'natullahi alayhim ajma'een, those who did that. So at that time, Imam Ali alayhi salam was inside the house. Imam Ali alayhi salam had compiled the Holy Quran according to his knowledge. So Imam Ali used to write this Quran as well, the Quran we have in our hands, right? So this Quran is also according to the compilation of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. But in addition, Amir al-Mu'mineen compiled the Quran according to the Sha'nun Nuzul. If one ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah is revealed earlier, he would write that earlier. And then if another ayat was revealed after it, maybe that ayat doesn't even belong to Surah Al-Baqarah, but it was revealed after it, he would mention that ayat, that will be mentioned soon after that, because that's according to the sequence of the revelation, which requires a lot of knowledge to do that. Only a person like Imam Ali could do that, who has a comprehensive knowledge of all the tanzeel and nuzul of ayat of Quran, and their sequence and their sha'nul nuzul, and their relevance of the revelation, which ayat was relevant to which event, what was going on at that time, and the ayat was relevant to that event, and because of the relevance to that event, Allah sent down the ayat. One of the reasons was that the ayat is still valid till the Day of Judgment, right? We can still benefit and get the guidance from every ayat, even if it was related to some event at that time, but we can even benefit today, right? So benefit of and hidayat and guidance is not specific to that event only, but there is a relevance. So he compiled the Quran according to the Sha'nul Nuzul, and that was the Mus'haf of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Some of the sects of Islam put tuhmat and slander on the Shias that Shias have 2 Quran. No, we don't have 2 Quran, we have 1 Quran. They say their Quran will be brought by Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. No, it's not a different Quran, it's the same Quran. The sequence of the ayats are according to Sha'nun Nuzul, which requires a lot of knowledge to do that. And that shows the, that Imam Ali alayhi salam's highness, another daleel and evidence for the highness of the knowledge of Imam Ali alayhi salam. It's not a different Quran, it's the same Quran. The 17th and the last attribute before I come to the end of today's speech is that there will be a cloud, a piece of white cloud hovering over the head of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam always. Whenever he goes out, there is a white piece of cloud hovering over his head. This is something specific to Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. And so everybody is going to see that, and there will be an angel announcing from top of that this is the Mahdi of Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
So when he would appear, there will be a cloud like this, and he's going to fill up the earth with justice the way it will be full of injustice. So when let me rephrase my sentence. When Imam Mahdi alayhi salam would appear, there will be, at that time, there will be a white cloud hovering over his head. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali.
Inshallah, we'll continue with the rest, inshallah, in the next speech. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to continue our belief and strengthen our belief and make us steadfast, resilient and strong over the walayat of Imam Sahib-uz-Zaman. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. يا الله 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 يا الله. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين واخذل الكفار والمنافقين. اللهم انصر من نصر الدين واخذل من خذل المسلمين. اللهم انصر واحفظ وأيد علماءنا الربانيين ومراجعنا الربانيين، سيما الولي الفقيه قائد المسلمين. اللهم انصر جيوش المسلمين وعساكر الموحدين. اللهم فك عن الأسراء المسلمين. اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى، وعجل في فرج مولانا صاحب الزمان، واجعلنا من أنصاره وأشياعه وأتباعه وأعوانه بجاه محمد وآله الطاهرين. Let's read the ziyarat of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, please.